think there's something that's interesting at the moment of how many, actually, the conversations I end up having with my friends is how difficult it is to either buy or sell property at the moment, that people are trying to sell things that they thought would be like sure bets 4 or 5 years ago, and actually having buyers drop out. And I think the kind of prevailing uncertainty around Brexit and what's actually going to happen, this sort of sense that things will keep going up, feels like it's starting to crumble away at the edges, And I think that's a really interesting thing, because this idea of perpetual growth is clearly not something that can be sustained. And particularly for sort of flats and houses at the kind of entry-level end of the market, there is an upper level of how expensive they can get while wages aren't rising. One of our kind of core beliefs is that we should use land to produce the things that people need. And people absolutely need homes. But the kind of utter vacuum-like effect of the housing market on the money that people are spending on running to stand still, literally, in their own homes, means that you're really jeopardising other productive things that people could be both doing with their time and with land. So land is often worth more if you just the houses, if you just lock them up and don't touch them and leave them there to increase in value, or rural land or land that is not for housing use. People are sitting there very much invested in the idea of hope value and waiting for it to go up to a point at which they feel they can sell. So that becomes your primary driver, rather than how can I use this land best. And I think that's actually really expressed in the way we tax land at the moment. You go back to Henry George and the idea of land value tax, which is all about taxing land, the value of land rather than its productive use. And I'm not necessarily an advocate of land value tax, but I think we have the almost exact opposite at the moment, where we have council tax and business rates, both of which are levied on the occupier, not the owner. So the owner can sit there and their assets can go up in value, while the people who are actually living in or working in those properties are having to pay the tax that I would say in reality they should be paying.